Hi everyone! Thank you for coming back to my channel for the full moon readings. And before I do get into the readings, I do want to make a few announcements. This full moon is in Pisces, I believe, this time around. And it is on September 6th, which is Wednesday. I'm filming this the Thursday before. So this time I'm actually going to be doing a specific spread. I found a full moon spread that I thought would be really great to do this time. I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck, the traditional Rider-Waite deck, and I am still going to do an extra reading for you depending on the reading and which way the reading seems to be going for you. I mentioned in the Divine Union reading, but I'll mention it again. I do have some more services that I listed on my Facebook page that haven't made it over to my website as of yet. It's a list of services and there are prices as well. Ooh, smoke's getting a little on hand. There is a list of prices as well, but unfortunately some of the services, the prices vary, especially for things like the custom artwork, the commissioned artwork. Of course, that depends on what work you want done, and certain things like readings, depending on the type of reading that you want, the price can vary. And I do have some services that are location based, which you would obviously need to be near me in some capacity to for me to do these services. So that would be northeastern Pennsylvania and a little bit of like New York, New Jersey, and maybe even Delaware. Depending on how far you want to travel, I could also travel, but depending on where you are, those are definitely possible. They're not out of the realm of possibilities, so. And let's see what else. Oh, I do want to mention that this new, I was looking at it before and I might end up putting it in one of my outtakes. I found this fire agate at the farmer's market today. There's this guy that has a stand with all kinds of crystals, and I don't go into buying crystals knowing what each crystal means. I don't like doing that because that just will trigger my mind to like, oh, I want that, instead of letting my guides kind of pull me towards what I need. And so I let them pull me towards this. And the fire agate, of course I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm a fire sign. But the fire agate, I just looked up as I was preparing, and it says that, of course, being an orange stone, it aligns with the sacral chakra in the fact that it helps a lot with sexual energy, physical energy, issues with surrounding sexuality, like impotence and stuff like that. But it also has a lot to do with courage and passion, and I found that it actually helps people with artistic blocks, which I was like, that's fantastic, because I have a project that I'm working on right now that I've been kind of putting off. So hopefully try to channel that, and I think that would be appropriate as well for the full moon. Try to unblock, try to help with the sacral chakra, help us with our courage, help us to make the changes that we need to by bringing us courage. So hopefully we can channel that energy of the sacral chakra and the fire agate crystal for this reading. All right, so without further ado, I'm just gonna get right into your readings then. Hello, Gemini. Thank you for coming back for your full moon reading. So I'm not going to get too far into anything else because I did make my announcements in the beginning. I do want to say again that this is a new spread, so kind of have your patience with me on this to try to remember the positions and what each one means. So I might fumble a little as I'm going through, but it will definitely be what's the most appropriate thing for you to know, what's most important for you to know for this full moon. All right, so I'm not gonna talk much further, except I'll do some shuffling and then I'll do some talking, which I'm good at. All right. So, for this full moon spread, what is the source of provocation for this full moon for Gemini? Was that the only one that fell? That fell behind my desk, so I'm just making sure that was the only one that fell. Okay. So I want to mention that even though the, where did it go? Where did it just, oh, I put it in the top. Even though there is one card that came out, that fell out, I also want to mention that the Temperance card just kind of did one of these. It was kind of sticking out of the deck. So that wasn't the card. I don't know if that was the card because this one did come out. But I do want to heed that. Perhaps another message, perhaps it'll come out in one of the other positions. So what is the innate strength that the Gemini will need to deal with this issue? I apologize if the smoke gets a little out of hand. I'm feeling quite kind of hippy-dippy today, and if you couldn't tell. And I just really wanted some incense, so try to keep it out of the view as much as possible. Okay, what needs to be transformed for Gemini for the full moon? Oh, I knew that was falling and I couldn't stop it. Oh, there's too many that came out. Okay. What needs to be transformed for Gemini? What does Gemini need to transform for this full moon? Ow. That's just like me. Oh. Ow. Make sure I got all those cards. We all want to jump out together. Like that. Okay. What does Gemini need to transform for the full moon? Just being patient, I guess. You just gotta be patient with it. Maybe patience is something that you need work on. Goodness. Well, these cards want to flip too. Okay, finally. That was a tough one, I guess. What should you avoid? What should the Gemini avoid this full moon? What should the sign of Gemini avoid for the full moon? Okay. And what action should Gemini take for this full moon? Whoa! Interesting. Okay. Trying to get some of that out of your view. It smells really nice. It's just kind of getting in the way occasionally. All right. So the first things first. What is the source of provocation for you during the full moon? Okay, and we have a High Priestess. It's like the moon itself. I'm also feeling your feminine aspect. And this is whether you're female or male. The feminine aspect of yourself. Because the High Priestess, she's linked with the moon. The moon is the feminine aspect. The sun is the masculine aspect. So your feminine aspect, I feel, is that a lot of times women tend to feel the effects of the moon more deeply, or at least the feminine side of us tends to feel it more deeply. I'm intuition as well. I'm feeling that your intuition needs to be used. You need to use discernment. With your emotions, with what you're feeling. So it's what you're feeling, what the moon is kind of conjuring up for you is what it's kind of provoking you. It's the feelings and the emotions that the moon is bringing up is what's going to be provoking you. So that's about dealing with those emotions, using your discernment and whether something is, when something needs to be addressed. Because that's what the moon does. The full moon brings out what we've been kind of hiding. What we have been kind of pushing down and suppressing or repressing. So it's about addressing those issues. Because your emotions are... the emotions that you've been repressing are coming out in the full moon. The moon is bringing them out, saying, hey, look at this. Remember this? you've been repressing this and you need to address it and let it go. All right. So I think it's going to be different for everybody what those emotions are. So I don't want to get too deep into what those emotions are. They might come out more in the other cards. Okay. So the next position is what innate strength will help you deal with this. Okay. Ooh, okay. So the King of Cups is emotional stability, typically. And I'm feeling that you are emotionally strong, where you do have a lot of strength emotionally. So these things, these feelings and emotions that you have repressed, or maybe situations or dealings with certain people have been repressed, and you need to kind of call upon this emotional stability to help you deal with what is coming through, what needs your attention, and how to heal that within yourself for the full moon, so you can move forward without that bothering you anymore, essentially. All right, so the next position is what needs to be transformed. Ooh, okay. What needs to be transformed? Conflict and regret are the two words that come up. Yeah, I'm feeling regret more than anything. There are things that you have in the past, situations, things that have happened to you that you regret, that you may have been suppressing, you may have been repressing, like the High Priestess shows here. It might be something that you were repressing, and you kind of just hold that, and it's not helping you. It's only holding you back. That's causing more conflict because you are not addressing this emotion, these situations that maybe you're blaming yourself or someone else, or you're feeling shame or guilt for something that you've done, and those are not helping you. Those are really, really low vibrational emotions. So holding on to that is only going to impede your growth. It's not going to help you at all. So I'm feeling needs to be forgiveness for yourself and for others, and not necessarily in the case that it is something that was done to you. I would say not necessarily forgive the other person because they didn't do something wrong, or you're being naive or saying that they didn't do something wrong, but it's about finding peace for yourself, because the only person that hurts by you keeping that in is you. You are the only person that gets hurt by that. So it's giving yourself the peace and saying, you know what, I'm not going to hold on to this anymore. I'm going to let it go. Regretting isn't helping anybody, and least of all you. So let that go. All right, and the next one is what should I avoid? Oh, okay. Don't push too hard. Don't try to run when you need to crawl first before you can walk, and then you can run. So it's like, don't go too far too fast. Take your time. So avoid pushing things too far, too fast. Avoid I'm hearing quick. Don't be too quick. Just take your time. Take your time. Be patient with yourself. Let things kind of happen. So don't be so hasty. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't just take off. Don't just start running. But allow things time to process. Allow yourself time. Be patient with yourself. And just let things happen. All right? And the last one is what should I act on? This is your action advice. What do you need to do? What do you need to act on? And we have the Tower in reverse. Okay, and I'm feeling this is going right along with the Chariot, where the Chariot was saying what you needed to avoid was going too far too fast, moving too fast, being too quick to judge, being too quick to or expecting things to happen really quickly. The Tower is kind of saying the same thing, letting things happen. Just let it happen. So I'm feeling like this isn't actually, what this is actually saying to you is not to act. Because the Chariot was saying don't be quick, be patient. This is saying let it go. It's going to be a really big shift for you. This full moon is going to be pretty big. It's going to cause a pretty big shift. In your emotions, in everything. I'm hearing everything. It's going to be transforming a lot for you. So this is saying, yeah, let it go, let it happen. Let the shift happen. And just check in with yourself and how you're feeling. And I would even, if you're so inclined, maybe write down what you're feeling, and so you're able to better sort it out. Like write it down, journal it, say, okay, this is, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like that? And as you're writing, sometimes you'll notice that these ideas come to you, or that it starts to make more sense to you. Oh, that's why I'm feeling that. Like, because when you're thinking it and it's all in your head, it's not as easy to see the lesson. When you write it down and you really look at it, it starts to make more sense. It starts to be more clear. So I'm feeling like you perhaps need to just write down what you're feeling so you can better sort it out and better deal with it. And just let it go and just kind of surrender the outcome and see this, this is what I'm giving. This is what I need to release for the full moon, and just sit back and let it happen. Okay? It's reminds me of the Tame Impala song, Let It Happen. I kept saying let it happen, and I kept getting that song in my head. So that might be another message for you. If you want to check out that song, it's a really, really good song. I love Tame Impala, but so the next, and like I was saying, there was the Temperance card that that came out almost all the way and just like held on to the deck by the tip. So Temperance, if you know a Sagittarius, if you have Sagittarius sun, moon, or rising sign, or if there's just a need for balance in general, maybe you haven't been feeling balanced, maybe as this full moon comes in you might start to feel imbalance a bit. definitely start working, like I was saying with the Tower card, definitely start working and sorting out what you're feeling and what that means for you and how to move away from it. Okay. Okay. I'm feeling like an Ascended Masters card would be in your best interest for this reading. So let's see what message the Ascended Masters have for you for the full moon. All right, what extra message you have for Gemini for the full moon? Okay. I had 2 cards come out. Let me see. Okay. I do also want to mention that this one did come out. This is Follow Your Heart with St. Francis. I do want to mention that, but because it did come out, and there was a reason for that. But I feel like this one is what you really need to know. And this really makes sense with this spread. Is detach from drama. Pallas Athena. And, whew, drama. That definitely is what this feels like. I mean, you have emotional stability here. You have that conflict and regret. You have the Tower with that major shift and the High Priestess there. Ah, drama. That might be something that you need to work on. Detaching from drama, because drama is one of the things that actually holds you back in regards to just obviously your evolution, your evolving as a person, but it also holds you back from manifesting the things that you want in your life. That is one of the things that holds you back. So keeping away from people who are from gossip, keeping away from those lower energies, keeping away from people who purposely start things, purposely seek attention, purposely make things like this happen, make drama happen. You might want to steer clear of those kind of people, because you might even notice that when they're around, you start feeling more negative, you start feeling kind of drained. So you want to try to cleanse those people out. You want to try to, excuse me, cut some of that out, because that's not going to help you. That's like tying stones to your feet as you're trying to swim. It's like you're not going to get very far. So definitely want to remove that obstacle from your life for the full moon, definitely, but this time, like, going forward as well. Not just for the full moon, but going forward, and just really kind of analyze your relationships with your friends, maybe family, maybe partner, who knows. But just kind of analyze your relationships. If it's somebody that you can't avoid, maybe lessen your interactions with them. Try to keep them as polite and short as possible. But yeah, just don't feed into it. Alright? Alright, so I hope that's helpful for you. It seems like it's very helpful to really go within and sort out those emotions and what you're feeling. Alright, Gemini. Well, like I said, I hope that helps you. I hope that the full moon treats you well. So if you want to check out your other signs, if this is your sun sign, if you want to check out your moon sign and your rising sign as well, that could maybe make the story of this a little more complete for you. Maybe there's some aspects in those readings that that can help you kind of figure out what these emotions are, or what else is attached to this that might resonate with you. If this does resonate with you, if you'd like to leave a comment and let me know how this makes sense for your journey, I would love to read that. I would love to get a conversation started. And if you like this reading, if you want to like the video, if you want to share it with your friends and family, or if you want to subscribe so that you get alerts whenever I upload any new videos, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. And as I said, I hope that the full moon treats you well. I hope you're able to get all of this clutter kind of cleared out with the full moon. And until next time, Gemini, keep the faith. Let's see, what other things do I have to tell you guys? I did it again! I did it again! The second one you screwed up! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Ah! Get your shit together. Good. I promise this isn't weed. This is just incense. Oh my gosh. Ugh.